week we focused on 2 Corinthians chapter 5, starting in verse 11, where Paul is talking about the ministry of reconciliation. He's not talking about solely managing conflict between two people. He's actually talking about reconciling oneself and others to God. And he starts by talking about having a fear of God, this reverent fear, not a scared fear, but reverence and awe of the power, the sovereignty, the personability of God. And that fear of God, that awe of God, should drive someone to be able to share about it with other people. And Paul actually uses the verbiage persuading others. Well, that word persuasion can kind of make us feel odd. It can make us curious about what he really means behind that. He's not talking about convincing someone to believe in Jesus, as if you're talking about it so much to them that they just end up saying yes, right? He's talking about presenting the truth of the gospel, presenting the hope of the gospel, and then allowing the power of the gospel to speak for itself. That the Spirit of God being so involved and so present in the narrative of the gospel, being of Jesus, then can become influential in the heart of a person to say, yes, I do believe in Jesus. I know that this is actually now not something to just simply know about, but something to embrace that can continue to change my life and allow me to discover my true identity in Jesus. And as we think about someone being changed by the gospel of Jesus, the power of the gospel itself, what it actually is doing as well as changing our lens or perspective that we see life through. It's Christ's love that compels us to be able to see and to love other people differently. And that ministry of reconciliation is about bringing harmony. To restore harmony is what reconcile means. Well, why do we need to restore harmony? Because in the very beginning with Adam and Eve, that harmony between us and God was broken in the fall of man when the first sin was committed. But through the power of the gospel, we have the chance to experience the restoration of harmony with God. It's because Jesus was the sin offering, the perfect sin offering for you and for me. And then we are then considered to be ambassadors for Christ, people going out to share the gospel with others, to persuade others by presenting the truth of the gospel, which in doing so and in being part of God's plan makes us righteous in the eyes of God. That the righteousness comes by faith through believing in Jesus, and then we have the opportunity to participate in that righteousness as God continues to lead us in this life. So a few things to think about or to discuss with a group is, first, to describe what you think it means that we are called to be ambassadors for Christ in the ministry of reconciliation. Question number 2, how does having a relationship with God change the way that you see other people? And question number 3, what does being reconciled to God tell you about how God sees you individually?